So like I mentioned, so these sessions are going to be a live sessions Monday to Friday. So we are going to talk about FICO, more of your practical oriented. We are going to take a live project scenarios and we'll explain in a live setting. It's not just about we learn only theoretical knowledge on the configuration. Configuration can be learned outside very easily by looking into the configuration documents which are widely available outside. You can easily complete the configuration. It is not about how you configure. It is all about how you understand business requirement, and based on business requirement, how you can manage their system, how better you can provide a final product or a final ERP system to your client or the customer, whoever you call, right? So that is what we are going to understand. This first 1 week of time, so from today to until Friday, we'll discuss about the live classes, the same classes, what we are going to do it. It is not a demo at all. So don't even consider this as a demo. These are practical classes we are going to talk about. Most probably today we'll talk about the pattern, how it is going to be. And from tomorrow onwards, I'll share the communication. Those who already joined today's class, I request you to follow the demo WhatsApp group, which you might have already received the link through the registration. Otherwise, you feel free to ping on the number that you see throughout the screen, where you will be added to the group for a demo group. You will receive all the communication, other documents, and all the remaining reference materials and everything you get it there in that group. Then once you complete this week of classes, then you can take a decision whether you can continue to take up the remaining classes, which is going to be a paid classes for sure. So for this week, you don't need to pay anything. Only when you feel comfortable and you think that this is something that I need after 1 week of classes, please then let us know how we can take it further. Just a basic rules for today's class and also for the rest of the classes. I would expect all of you to be stay active throughout the class and make sure you try to have a conversation whenever it is required. Let's say I might ask some questions related to a very basic things or some understanding level. I just wanted to check your understanding where you are standing and what do you understand by that. And also there might be a few things I might ask you guys to share your experience about certain things. If you had come across something or if you know something, quickly you can unmute and respond and again go back to mute. Otherwise, what happens, there will be a lot of background noise and distractions, which will get recorded in the video. And later, whenever you refer to this, it will unnecessarily disturb and you may not be able to enjoy that recorded sessions. To make it recorded sessions very clean, I would request you to please keep your lines mute always. Okay. And if you participate in oral discussions whenever we are doing it, it's not a theoretical class, it is not a college that we are going to talk about a theoretical content. It's a more of a practical oriented that we are training here. So that's the reason you need to have a discussion with your trainer, with me, and also with your participants who are going to do it, not in the class, who are going to discuss with them. Maybe after the class, try to find your study partners in case you feel you need one and see how others are practicing, what else you can practice. You start discussing. There are, I'm sure, a lot of working consultants like Ashok Shankar. There are many other people also in this. So though they are not maybe discussing at this moment, but you will come across them, whoever is working, and you will get more knowledge from them as well. Okay. So then you listen carefully what we are discussing, and maybe when others are sharing their opinions, respect their opinions as well. No need to debate on that whenever we are discussing any concepts. Maybe later for a debates, we can have a separate sessions to understand the deeper understanding of any concept. There we can have all the clear, healthy debates as well. Okay. So if whenever required camera, I think most probably I may not request. So only when it is required, keep your cameras on. Otherwise, make sure by default, some laptops cameras might be on, which has enabled for a camera to open. But make sure one more time you check your camera is in disabled mode for these classes because it is not at all required for our classes. So you can completely connect to audio and you can see the screen that I'm sharing and you can enjoy it. And make sure you ask questions and clarify any of your doubts towards the end of the session. And also we'll conduct a separate out clarification sessions as well, where you can ask your questions. Try to avoid questions in between the classes where it will help us to maintain the class decorum. Right. Okay. And if you don't avoid looking into your mobiles or taking calls or messages, which will unnecessarily which unnecessarily disturbs you to focus on a class. Okay. So try to focus on what we are talking and discussing here, and make sure you try to join with a laptop or a desktop, which will give you a better experience. Whenever you are on a mobile device, it may not give you that same experience what you wanted to learn. There is a lot of content practically that we share from ERP screens, SAP screen, and other tools that we use in projects. Through mobile, you may not be able to do that. Some people will try to do join classes through walking and other things, but that may not give you the right exposure. That is where I'm trying to say that. So make sure you guys have this laptop or a desktop which will help you to attend at a where you can clearly get the content what I'm trying to share it. Okay. Don't disturb others maybe by chatting during the session. So though there might be an option, don't worry about it. But after the session where you will be joined or where you will be added to a professional group where you can have a network with the people and you can discuss, have a healthy discussion and understand the concept and clarify your doubts. Whatever you want, you can do the discussion later after the class. Okay, don't try to waste the time or disturb others by chatting or sending some messages, whatever. Okay, so whenever you are not speaking, as usual, keep your lines on mute, which will be more helpful. Now, quickly, whenever we are jumping into the concept to understand, maybe considering there might be many people who are joining for the first time, they never gone through any ERP trainings or has not seen any ERP system, for them to understand and also for existing people to also understand, let us quickly run through and see what exactly SAP modules all about. SAP is an ERP system, Enterprise Resource Planning. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning, which is used to manage companies' resources. Whenever we say resource planning, so what are the resources in accounting or a finance? We generally call it as 3M. So what is 3M? Anybody aware about 3M? Those are coming from accounting background. I think I missed to check how many of you are from accounting background or how many are from non-accounting background. So can I quickly know how many are you from finance and accounting, working or academic background? Just raise your hands or say me in your chat session. Anyone? Okay. Okay. I think it will be helpful if you guys can raise your hands promptly. Otherwise, I don't get to know what kind of participants we have here. Okay. Why I'm asking this question particularly is having finance and accounting knowledge is very much important for us to understand any ERP system, not only SAP, any ERP system. We are not going to develop SAP product here. We are not a technical people. We are going to learn a consulting skill set to make sure we help our businesses to use the ERP system for day-to-day business activities. That's it. So don't think you are going to become a technical consultant. In case that is the goal, that is something different course where you need to join. So here we are going to discuss only about FICO functional module. So why I'm asking how many of you are aware about finance and accounting? Those who has gone through your finance and accounting, you might had already studied about or seen about what is all about your resources. Resources, whenever we say resources, we call it as a 3M. What is a 3M? So money, machine, and what else? What is the third M that we generally talk about? Money, machine, and man. These are the 3M in any organization you come across. So whenever we talk about 3M, these are all the category of your resources. Any company, whoever is using these three things, 3M, they need a proper ERP system to manage all their resources. Why they need ERP system? First of all, if you want to manage all this manually, it takes a lot of effort and it is highly impossible for any organization to manage effectively in a short period of time. You need a lot of time to make sure what is happening, to check in all the places in around the corner. Let's say you have a lot of machine, you have a lot of money, which is in the form of investments, capital, and all places you spend money, but you don't know how it is being used. And also, your most important thing is the people, humans, and the men. Men, I'm saying, I'm not about the gender here. It's all about the generic thing we call it. It's a human resources. All the human resources is major portion in any organization. Without human resources, we can't continue or we can't do the business. You think about it, any business who has a lot of resources, they wanted to manage it. How will you manage it? Right? If you wanted to track how many employees you have, who joined on which day, whose salary, whose CTC is how much, when, how to pay their salary, all this you can't manage in a pen and paper, right? You need certain system which can take care of majority of these things automatically. That is where ERP systems plays a crucial role to manage all the resources in easily where you can do all the activities whatever you want. For your business to use this ERP system in a backend, there is a somebody who has to make the system ready in the form of, we call it as a configuration or a settings. We do the configuration, you set all the things that is required for an organization to use it. As a consultant, you need to understand the business requirement. That is where it gets started. So you understand what business exactly wanted to use, why they wanted to use. Let's say they say that I have 1 lakh employees. I wanted to track all my employees' date of birth and their date of joining, both, and I wanted to send them a message. It's a very simple task. Now, if you wanted to track all these 1,000 employees' date of birth and date of joining, you need to have some proper mechanism. So how system can automatically send, or if you wanted to sit and send the wishes to those employees, you need to create manually, and every time you need to email them. What if there is a system you can automate it where it can take care automatically when the clock ticks at midnight 12 o'clock, and it will automatically refer to the backend table and fetch the data and prepare a template. There is already a template. I mean, from the template, it fetches the template and replace certain details like a name and some other customized message, and zoom, it send it to that employee as a welcome message, or it can be birthday wish, or it can be work anniversary message, right? Now everybody receives a salary on every month, last working day, or 1 or 2 days prior to that, or somebody who receives on a first working day of the month also. How do we receive this? Does your company goes and deposit to each and every one of our account? It's highly impossible, right? So what they will do, they will generate a payment file, they will send it to the bank. You have a sufficient balance in your account. By looking into the payment file, bank will process it. While they process, you receive your payment into your account automatically. All this is automated processes. How do we do that all? So that is where we talk about functional and technical modules. So whenever we talk about SAP, SAP is an ERP system. In under ERP system, again, it has been divided into multiple modules for us to manage everything properly. Whenever you wanted to manage any of your business, you need to make sure what exactly you need to manage it. Now you wanted to understand, I have a finance department. I have my internal accounting department where internal, you have accounts department and finance department. Both are different. This is not same. Many people might confuse finance and accounting is same, but finance is different, accounting is different. Your accounting completely deals with what? Anybody wanted to share your experience? What does your accounting means for? Why do we use accounting? Anybody can drop a message in a chat or you can unmute and speak. Accounting all deals with your external financial reportings. Okay. So whenever you talk about finance, it all deals about your internal accounting. Okay. So whenever you wanted to do financial reporting for external purposes, you use finance, accounting whenever you wanted to do internal reportings, like your costing, product costing, there are many things. You are budgeting, forecasting, many stuff that you do it. All that happens in your internal reporting. So now, whenever we talk about multiple departments in your finance is a separate, your accounting is separate, your procurement is a separate department, production is a separate department, sales is a separate department, HR is a separate department, IT is a separate department. For each and every function, each and every major function in your organization is going to be a module. That is what we need to understand. What exactly the module means. Whenever we talk about a module, it all about every function is going to be one module. If you talk about finance, it's a one module in SAP. We convert that into a module and we deal everything into one. Okay. So now you need to understand what exactly we are going to learn now. Are we going to learn everything? Certainly not. We are going to learn about only FICO. When I say FICO again, it's a combination of two modules. It's a highly useful for us, both the modules in a short period of time. And I don't recommend also anybody to learn both the modules at a time, but focus on one core module that you wanted to start with and continue with. Then later you can develop on top of that other modules. So we focus in our training also more of your FI, which is a financial accounting, which is for external reporting purposes, including your accounts payable, accounts receivable, general ledger accounting, and also will touch base on a banking and a fixed assets related. Then the controlling module also will touch base, where we are covering the more of on a FI side, and also will provide CO knowledge where you can easily manage any support project or any implementation project. Also, you can support other CO consultant, because in any project you will find a dedicated CO consultants as well. It is not that only one person can manage everything. With that intent, let us focus for next 3 to 4 months of time to learn this FIC together. When I say together, we'll focus more on FI, like I mentioned, for those who wanted to become CO consultants as well. That has to go again another 3 to 4 months of a deep knowledge about it. So now you will understand whenever you spend 3 to 4 months, still it is not sufficient for you to become an expert, right? But still somehow we need to put extra effort and make sure you are comfortable. Now, all the functions that we are talking about, we spoke about so far the various departments in our business, whatever the functions is happening in a business, we call that as one function. That is what we call it as a functional module here. So whatever you see here, these are all functional modules. It's a part of your each and every business that we are dealing with. That is your functional module. Either if you say FICO, which is your accounting department and internal or management accountants who deal with for internal reporting purposes, that is FICO. And you have a sales and also distribution, where your sales team will perform various sales and also do various product distribution, everything, right? That is your sales and distribution module in SAP. Now you have manufacturing, where you manufacture your various products, where you will be dealing with a production management related, right? And you also have a lot of machineries, plants to manage with, which is a plant maintenance. And you also have construction business, or you are going to, let's say, build your own assets, capital assets. You call it as a capex. Some companies, what they do, they don't want to procure the assets that they require from outside. They believe that they have the capability and they will build up their own. In that case, what happens? You spend a lot of money to build your own assets. That is going to be a capex. Whenever you are spending a capex, so you need to have another module to deal with all these capex. That is your project systems. In a project systems, we are going to deal with all that. So whatever that we wanted to spend the money, whatever the money that you are spending to build the assets is going to become your project systems. And the HR team, whoever dealing with all the employees from recruitment until retirement, so they deal with the employees, right? Every activity that they perform is going to managed in your human resources, which is called success factors. There's another module called success factors. These are the modules that all we are talking about, which is part of your functional modules. For all the functional modules, you need some support. That support is going to be provided by a technical team. That technical modules is called app and basis. We'll talk about all this very deep in upcoming sessions as well. For now, let us understand what else is the more that we wanted to know. Whenever I talk about the FICO, FICO in short, right? Particularly, sorry. So whenever we talk about FICO, which is the core module in your business, to make sure your business can use for internal and external reporting purposes. We'll spend thorough time on this to learn and you will understand more details in it. So whenever you wanted to learn, first thing it might come to your mind, should I learn ECC or S4HANA? What is ECC? Which is a old version of SAP, which is still there in some organizations. The organizations, whoever is using ECC, they are also migrating to S4HANA. You people might have heard those are working consultants. You know that ECC is going to sunset by 2027. And on a request basis, SAP is extending their support maybe for another couple of years. After that, there is no version called ECC where SAP will not provide any support for ECC. With that, those are using SAP old version, they have to get into S4HANA. So for you to understand what is going to be more demanding, you can decide now which one to learn. What is our focus here now? Our focus is more of like to understand S4 HANA system. We'll spend more time on configuration and everything in a latest version of S4 HANA, which is a 2023 version we are using for our training purpose. We will also discuss about the differences between ECC and S4 HANA so that you will understand, you will have a fair idea what was there in ECC system. If any organization is upgrading or migrating from ECC to S4 HANA, you will be able to manage it. That is all you require. That knowledge we will discuss in our sessions, but major focus is going to be on our S4 HANA system. All the configurations we do on S4 HANA system. S4 HANA system comes with Fury applications where there is no Fury applications in our ECC. We are going to use Fury application as well here along with S4 HANA whenever we are learning it. We learn here S4 HANA FICO along with Fury applications, how to use them. We use Fury applications for our configuration, for our master data, and also for a transaction data and to run the reports. Everything we are going to see from GUI and also from Fury applications, both the knowledge you get it. Okay. Now, some people, if you are not aware about what kind of roles you can expect it. In SAP FICO, you can expect various roles. If you are entering for the first time without any prior experience in SAP, so you might expect associate consultant level roles, which is like the fresher roles. So is there an opportunity for a freshers? Most companies do not prefer the freshers because the consulting skill set is something, an expertise level they are expecting to solve problems for our clients. Wherever, if you look into the market, majority of the roles are with the experience based. Very few things that you can expect, very few roles that you can expect as a fresher roles. But you need to understand what kind of, how can I get into fresher role if I don't have any experience? That's a different route. We can talk about it during our sessions later. So because that need a lot of understanding for you. So how you can start a fresher journey. So mostly the companies are expecting experienced candidates. Now, if you don't have experience, you are joining for the first time again. Now you are learning SAP and you don't have FICO experience. How can you expect experience level jobs? We will discuss about that as well in upcoming classes. We are going to talk about in detail how to prepare for this and how you can get ready for experience level as well. I'm sure I'm going to give you that knowledge by end of our training sessions, and with a little more effort from your side, you are going to gain that confidence where you can work as a consultant as if like you have a 4 to 5 years experience easily. That's an experience that you can expect. Now you can expect associate consultant roles, which are a fresher. Then later, maybe we call it as a consultant roles, then senior consultant, principal consultant, and architect roles. We'll talk about each and every role, what kind of responsibilities in each role that we can expect. what skill set that required for you to get into these roles from functional consultant perspective side. Once you're done with architect role, then something like a management roles. You no need to be in the same in this one. Or somebody wanted to develop a technical knowledge, they can add that as well. And when coming to the salary, there is no limit for a salary, which is, I would say, salary and the limit is the sky, depending on your experience and the skill set that you gain in FIC. The more you gain, the more you can demand in the market. Now, there is very shortage for the people who knows the proper knowledge, who has a good skill set in FIC. When you have a good skill set, you can demand for it. So we'll talk about that as well. So with good knowledge as a fresher, what is the maximum salary people are getting it? I'll show you. I'll bring my students and my other network who is already there in the market. You will understand from their own words in next classes who is earning how much and what you can expect and how you need to plan your preparation to get into that limits. Okay. But trust me, you have a lot of opportunity where you can earn a lot of money as a salary when you gain more knowledge about FICO concepts. Okay. Now, how should you begin whenever you wanted to land into that level? How should you begin it? First, you need to spend a good amount of time understanding various business processes. Without that, it is not possible for anybody to gain that deep knowledge about it. I recommend if you are coming from non-accounting or a non-finance background, either you don't have an academic background or a working background about finance and accounting, you should be keen about learning it. You should spend that sufficient time to learn about it. If you think you don't want to learn all that, but I still wanted to complete FICO course and get into the roles, don't even think about it. It is not possible, right? So then once you feel that, yes, I'm ready for it, I already have that, then you think about choose your preferred trainer, the nice trainer who can help you to guide you through the right way, how you can practice, how you can get into your dream job. You need to practice after that all the concepts, whatever we are discussing in the classes. Practically, we will also show. Then you need to practice them as well until you become confident. Then you need to have like-minded people surrounded to you, whoever is doing the similar thing. Let's say what is similar thing? You are learning FICO. You need to have more people like you, whoever is learning it. Discuss with them, keep discuss with them how they are doing, what they are doing. And also have a working consultants in surrounding to you. We already have close to 365 plus community in our SAP Learning Hub. I know how many of you are there in that, I'm not sure, but I request you to go to this SAP Learning Hub channel or a group where you can get that association of working consultants to understand the various industry trends, how to prepare, what kind of jobs you can expect, and also you can get a referrals, and also you can clarify your doubts wherever you stuck in your practice. That community support we are going to provide through our program at no extra cost. Everything included in your exactly the same thing. That's a SAP Learning Hub has been pasted in the chart. Somebody who wanted to be in that group, you feel free to join that. So what you can expect in our training, you can expect a live trainings. It is not going to be a recorded session that we play. We discuss live and you can also interact and clarify your doubts. And you will get support until you succeed. When I say succeed, until you get your job, we will be there with you to support each and every phase to transition. And we will also help you with the resume preparation support. And also we will help you with interview grooming, mock interviews, and we will also provide you the recorded sessions of these classes. And you will also can expect regular assignments from the classes. And you can also have a one-on-one support. And we will also provide you the materials and reference materials that we are using, including some standard templates. Okay. So in case our session gets disconnect, I would request you all of you to rejoin one more time with the same link so that we will spend a few more minutes. Okay. So that's a just for you to know about overall how we are going to start with. We will continue our session tomorrow again with the 8:50. Those who are not yet joined the demo group, I request you to go back and check your emails already. Okay. Now, so I request all of you to go through all the testimonials, and also if you have any other questions then to clarify. So we are there to connect and help you understand. For you to understand the overall the course structure, it is going to be a 3 to 4 months of duration, which we will be running it. And batch timings are going to remain Monday to Friday. Like I mentioned, the timing, it is going to be a morning at 8 or 8:30 most probably, that I'll confirm by end of this week. We wanted to see the overall participants and suggestions from all of you. What is the suitable time? Most probably either it will start at 8 or max by 8:30, but it will remain in this time most probably. The fees related, I would recommend you to again contact with the from the channel from where you are coming from. So there are depending on from where you are coming from. So make sure you connect with them and finalize what is the fee structure, how to pay everything. And I'm not asking you to pay right now today, but you can pay only after you decide after attending 1 week of classes, so that you will have a fair idea whether it is going to be a right forum or not for you. Okay. So for anybody, for you to clarify any other questions and about the course structure or the content wise, it is not a fixed content that we are going to run through, as we are going to run through a live one end-to-end project for you to understand. We'll go through one end-to-end implementation. We will also go through one support project. We will also go through one testing project, and which will help you and to understand how exactly all these projects are worked in a real life projects. If you think about only the course content, it is easy to give it. Once you join that WhatsApp group, in the group description also you will find a course content where you can refer to the course content which is already there. Certainly you are going to cover them as a basics, that they are just a basics. Beyond that, we are going to cover a lot many things to understand or to make you a perfect consultant. In case you wanted to become a perfect consultant, the course content, whatever you look into it, may not be sufficient. You need to have something beyond that. That is what you can expect it here. We'll start with the basics to understand the basics configuration, including your company code organization structure. Then we'll slowly jumping into the deep about each and every business process, like your P2P cycle, O2C cycle, R2R, your banking, then fixed assets. Then we'll talk about FIMM integration, FISD integration, FICO integrations. All these integrations we are going to cover. And on top of that, we are going to talk about the customizations. In any project, customizations plays a crucial role. One should be comfortable and should be aware about how to deal or how to lead any customizations. It is not so easy for you to for you to uh, perform any customizations without having that knowledge. You need to make sure you will be able to do that, how to do the customization. Whenever you want to do the customization, what are the things that you should be aware? How to write a functional specification document and how to deal with your ABAPers, how to communicate with them, everything matters, right? All this we are going to talk about at this moment. For most of you, the terminology that I'm talking maybe looks like new because you have not yet exposed yet. That is a quite common, but you will understand the importance of all this in upcoming classes. So with that, maybe let me take a pause here. And like I mentioned, we are going to continue to connect tomorrow and for the rest of this week. At the same time, you for those who wanted to continue attending for this first week classes and see how we are going to train and everything, from tomorrow we'll start with another concept class there where you can understand it, what to expect, how to continue your journey. I would recommend you to be there on a demo group at least, so that we can send a communication on time. So though we are sending through the email, most of the people are
చూస్తాను
not able to refer to the emails on time. So I would request you guys to be on a WhatsApp group
మొన్న నేను
so that you can get a communication from a WhatsApp group instantly. If you don't want to miss that communication, be there in a WhatsApp group, or somebody who is not comfortable, I would recommend you to refer to your email where we will send all the communication through the email that you have already registered through TopMed platform, where you might have already received a welcome message upon registration. And also yesterday night, you might have received a class link. So these two sources is what you can expect. If you're not there in these two places, then I think you might miss some communications. Don't expect one-on-one message again. That will be difficult for us to manage it. Now let me pass and ask you guys if you have any specific questions that you wanted to understand. Apart from the fees, I think let me know anything else that you guys wanted to know uh, before we wrap up for the day. Either you guys can raise your hand or you can go on mute and speak about it. Yes, so Shankar, please.
Yeah, sir. Uh, which system you are means a server you are giving training. The same server will be provided for us also for trainees also. How it is, sir?
It actually depends in case you guys are going to opt our servers. If you need that, yes, you can accommodate in the same server. Or if you guys find that outside, that then I can't do anything. So the server cost is not included in your course fees. That has to be purchased separately. So in that case, there is a flexibility for you to choose your choice of vendor. Here we are not charging very much high, but it's more or less with the industry standards which we are charging it. Again, with our one of the best vendors who provide a best service with the quality servers. My idea is
Yep.
to give the same server for all our students. But again, I can't force everybody that it's an optional. Those who wanted to be on the same server, yes, I'll put all our students into the same server.
My question is sometimes we if we do not get time if you want to go through the
Mhm.
documents what you have posted
Mhm.
that we can refer the documents or how it is or your
Yes.
server whatever you are teaching that server is
Correct.
different and our server is different. How,
Correct. I understand your point. Those who opt from us, we are going to use the same server, trainer server and trainees. I'll try to make it in the same server. We both can sit on the same thing, like you mentioned. You can go back and check my documents.
okay. S4 HANA 2023, right?
Yes, yes. We are going to use S4HANA 2023 version.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions from anyone? Okay, if no other questions from anybody, I think we will continue to meet tomorrow as well. And we'll continue for this week without any fees. You guys can attend this first week of classes and see how it goes. And based on that, you can decide to continue further or not. Yeah. So I would recommend you guys to take this first week of classes as an advantage and see if it is going to be helpful or not for career path. Okay, that's all I had today to talk about it. In case somebody has any queries or something that you wanted to connect with, so feel free to talk to our team and the program coordinator, and the email ID and the numbers that is provided below. These are the official email ID and the mobile numbers you will receive all the communication with. If somebody is uh, claiming as a KNR Ignite Solutions with any different communication methods, please be aware of that. All the payments also we request you to send it to our official accounts where you will get that KNR Ignite Solutions bank account. All right. Thank you so much everyone for joining today, and I'll see you tomorrow again at 8:15 a.m. IST. Thanks once again. Bye bye.